Hey, what's up you guys, it's Ethan, and I'm back with another super interesting, super cool video, which you guys are gonna love, because you guys love it. I had to get that out of my system, I'm sorry. But anyway, hi guys. It's good to see you again. How you doing? How's life? What's your week been like? You good? By the title of this video, you guys are probably like, oh my god, what did you do now? Like, well, let me tell you. It happened November 18th. At around like 1-ish, 1:15 maybe. In between like 1 and 2, let's just say that. 2015. Okay, so I'll probably have to backtrack on this story a little bit, aside from the date of when this actually happened. So there was this house that I would pass by every single time I would go to town, like pretty much almost every single day of my life. Like literally of my life. I would always be like interested by it, you know, but I could only see the roof of it because I mean, it had a lot of acreage, so there was like lots of woods around it, and you could just see like the tip-top roof of the house. And I was always curious, and I felt like I was just drawn towards it. I know, as creepy as that sounds, but I always wanted to go check it out, and I always just wanted to know what it looked like because I could only see the roof. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that house. And I mean, over the years, I would kind of grow to where I wouldn't really think about it. Like, I mean, if I saw it when I was passing by, or if I was passing by, I would look, you know, to see if I could see anything else. I was always just interested. One day, and like, I feel like it was maybe around March or April of 2015, I had saw like the big orange zoning sign. So that meant like a neighborhood developer bought the property, and let's be real, I was actually really sad because I always had this little childhood dream, you know, like little kids, like they dream unrealistically and then the dreams get crushed like mine did. But it's fine. It's fine. That meant that they were gonna probably blade the house down and pull all the trees out and build a stupid neighborhood, which is it's what they did. It's that way now, which is super sad. But I mean, not really the point of this story, but I saw that they were going to zone it to be a neighborhood. And I was like, oh my god, that's so sad. And well, okay, a couple of years back from that, they had sold a little piece of the property too, like pretty close to the house, and they made that like a daycare place. And like, that's smart. Build a daycare right by this giant creepy abandoned house. Like, nothing bad can happen. I mean, not that anything bad did happen, but seriously, that's like terrifying. Way to scare kids. So unless they're weird like me and love abandoned houses, but so yeah, I'm getting way off track. Sorry, my bad. I'm usually this way all the time. So since they built this like daycare place, I was able to actually see like a little bit more of the house because they had to clear out trees like around to build the parking lot and the building for the daycare. So I could see like the whole side of the house now, and like a little bit of the, like just a tiny little bit of the front. And not very much though. So I still was very confused by what this house looked like. But I mean, I was getting closer, right? I have some pictures of that too. I do have a lot of footage from this, so I will put that all in here. I forgot to mention that before. But yeah, here is like the house from like when they kind of cleared it out a little bit. Obviously, I still wasn't able to know like exactly what it looked like. And a couple of years passed after that, and then now we're leading up to 2015. Then I saw a big orange zoning sign at the front of this driveway. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm so dramatic, but like my heart was kind of crushed because I always had this little like unrealistic childhood dream that I was gonna buy that land, I was gonna fix up the house, and I would live there happily ever after for the rest of my life. Even though that probably never would have happened, and I knew that would probably never happen, but you know, I can dream, right? Like, it's fine. I told my dad, like, I want to go check out this house. Like, I want to so bad. And probably the next week, he pulled into the driveway, like, which, okay. What the heck was that? James again. about a week after that, we pulled up to the driveway, which you aren't able to pull down the driveway because like there was this like roadblock thing. I think I have a picture of that too. But it was a weird looking like roadblock thing. It was obviously homemade. It was weird. But I don't know why it was there. So we pulled there and we made mom sit in the car and act like she pulled over to like text or something so that, you know, we wouldn't get like towed or something. So we walked down this driveway since now it's like not private property anymore. It's zoned for like a neighborhood. So walk down this like driveway, you know, it's very long. A couple of like trees, like small trees had like fell over the driveway. We had to like walk all the way down. The driveway was probably about as long as my driveway. So, but like since it was grown up and stuff, it seemed much longer, I guess. So we get up to the side of this house and I'm able to see like it's grown up really, really, really close to the house. So, I mean, even being up close to it, I couldn't tell 100% what it looked like. We came up to the side of the garage and the garage door was open. So I could see inside the garage and I could see like the house from the opposite angle. So that was kind of cool, even though I still didn't know what it looked like all the way. And I wanted to go inside it, but since it was like summertime, I was afraid like there was going to be like a wasp nest and like I would get stung and die, or like bees or a creepy animal, you know, gonna maul me or something. And, you know, my dad was like, I wouldn't go in there, like, don't go in there, like, it's probably dangerous. And yeah, so, I mean, I made him go around to the front of the house and try to take a picture of it, which he didn't get, like, the best picture. He just got, like, the top of the roof, which I could see from the road. So, like, thanks, Dad. Thanks so much. But he tried. It's all that matters. Thank you. There's that picture. Well, I think there's two. I'll just include the other one. So I still kind of obviously was like really curious, and I still wanted to know what the inside of it looks like. So that's what I wanted to do, and that was just, I was not going to stop until that I got what I wanted. You know what I mean? Determination. So like I said, in 2015, I had this like friend at the time. I don't really know her like that well anymore because we like don't talk a lot. But I had this friend who went to like the same kind of like one day school thing as me, and we went to church together. So I forget how we got on this topic actually, but somehow we got on the topic of abandoned houses and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's this like one abandoned house that I absolutely love, and it's like yellow and it's off of blank road, which actually she lived off of that road too, which is pretty funny. And she's like, oh my gosh, I know where you're talking about. I live off of that road. Like, I've always wanted to go to that house. I've always wanted to see that house. I've always loved it, like as long as I've lived here. And I was like, oh my gosh, no way, me too. And she's like, we should try to go there together when we hang out this week. And I was like, I'm so down. So obviously, like a normal, like good child would do, I asked my mother, and at first she was kind of skeptical. But yeah, so she agreed to it, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And obviously my friend's mom agreed to it also. I mean, she was like literally not a mom. She was like more of a best friend. So the time comes for us to hang out. I go over to her house, and this is not like important to the story, but like her house is like a mini mansion. It's so pretty and so huge. Like, there's so many bedrooms, and each bedroom has its own bathroom, and she's an only child. Like, girl, what you need all that space for? Give me some. Their house is goals. I get dropped off, you know, my mom comes inside and like chats with her mom for a little bit. So I don't really remember what all happened, but like, I guess her mom kind of explained to my mom what we were gonna like try to do. And my mom was like, okay, like stay safe, don't die, like don't do anything stupid, and like would like go through the list, like don't do this, don't do that, don't, you know, like basic mom things. So and you know, we got in their car, which they had a really nice car, like they had a brand new car. This was 2015, and they had like a brand new 2015 like Chevrolet Tahoe or something, which I know that's random, but it actually comes into the story in a second, so bear with me. So we get ready to go, and we get in their nice super fancy car, and we drive out of their neighborhood, drive up the road just like a little ways, and there we are. So at this point in time, like all of the trees were like cleared off of this property. So there's literally just the house, and then there's these like 2 trees off to the side where there was like this old tree house, and the roof fell in on the tree house, so obviously it probably wouldn't have been safe to climb in. And there was a big barn in the back where like the field used to be before they dug it all up, and then there used to be a swimming pool, but they filled it in. And there was this like screened in gazebo thing, and that was really pretty. I do have pictures of all of that. I could include all of that. And the driveway at this point, it was from like the garage doors of this house, like all the way like maybe halfway down the driveway, it was like all dug up because there was like dirt and mud all the way around the house because they had like already started like, I guess I don't know, would you call that construction? I guess, right? But they had to get like a permit to tear down the house. So that's why the house and all the other things that were like the barn and the treehouse and the gazebo were still there. They had to get like permits to like tear that down or something. I don't know. So the driveway, it didn't have like a roadblock on it anymore, but we didn't pull down the driveway because it was like dug up. So her mom pulls into that daycare parking lot, and we like, you know, park, and I'm like freaking out inside, like the anticipation. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm here, like this is legit happening, like I'm gonna see my dream house, like this is amazing. And so is my friend. She's like freaking out, like super excited. And so the mom's like, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna stay in the car and sit down, like pretend like I pulled over and I'm on the phone. If anybody comes over, if anybody calls the police, I'm gonna make up this whole story that they're in a photography class, and like, you guys are gonna be in a photography class and you needed to get pictures of an abandoned place for your next assignment. She had this whole thing planned out, and I'm just thinking like, oh my gosh. And oh my word. She's like, okay, have fun, take lots of pictures, but try to hurry just in case. I don't want people calling anybody. So we're like, okay, let's go. Let's do this. So there was this fence, like in between this like daycare and the abandoned house property. And it was like, obviously it wasn't tall. It was like your typical wooden fence, but like still you had to climb over it, and it was like stressful because you had to climb over it and you had to step in like a bunch of mud, which we were really trying hard not to, but you kind of didn't have a choice there. And then you had to climb over one of those like, what do you call those? Like orange or black, like construction kind of fences. Like, I don't know. I'll include a picture here if you don't know what I'm talking about, but I don't know what they're called. Then you'd hop over that, and then there was this huge like mound of dirt that you had to climb over. It wasn't there before, but since they started digging everything, like you had to climb over it. It was great. So I walked around like, we walked around like this like giant hill thing, and we come up to the house, and of course I'm taking tons of pictures. So I walk around to take this picture, and oh my goodness. So I'm standing there like in front of the house, right? And I'm taking this picture with my phone. I'm standing there, and then all of a sudden I feel myself going like this. And I didn't know what was going on. At first I was like, and I looked down, and I'm wearing cowboy boots because like I didn't have any other like rain boots or anything like that, and I didn't want to get any of my other good shoes muddy, so I'm wearing cowboy boots. And literally my entire left foot I cannot see anymore. It is like drowning in this mud, and I'm trying to yank my foot out, but it's like, it feels like quicksand. It's like sucking me down, you know? And I'm like screaming for my friend to like help me, and she's like, oh my god, like, this is terrifying. And so she comes over, and I like yank my foot out, and like my foot is like completely submerged in like this nasty like mud Georgia clay nastiness. So I think I actually have a picture of that too, so there you go. So yeah, that was not a fun time. So we walk over to the front door, and it's like this really pretty like all glass double door thing, but like the glass was broken out of it, so it was just like a double door thing. And one of them was open, and we get to the porch, and we like start to step on the front porch. And we look inside, and like there's this massive hole where the wood is rotten like out of the floor, and it's like all the way around the front entrance. So we're like, okay, we're gonna go through the garage. So we walk around through the garage, and we stepped inside, and I will just kind of show you what we saw.
Oh, what? Ew, a rag! A rag, not a rat.
I almost cried.
Okay, oh.
So yeah, that's pretty much what it looked like, and the whole rag incident on the floor, that was pretty funny. There was this little blue rag on the floor that I did not see, and somehow it was soaking wet, and so when I stepped on it, it went like, you know how like rags do, it's like gross. And I was like, ew, a rag, and she thought I said a rat, obviously, so she screamed bloody murder. And then we both bust out laughing. It was pretty funny. So, you know, after we were done looking around, I really wanted to go upstairs, even though, like, no, everyone told me not to go upstairs. But, you know, it's fine. It's fine, I think. Well, I start to walk up the sides of the stairs. I stood on the sides, you know, obviously, so, like, you know, the support would, like, not give in and me fall through the floor. So I didn't go all the way to the top, but, like, I went to the top, and this is what I saw. And I really wish I would have turned the camera all the way around to look. I'm still mad at myself because there was another set of stairs above me that like went to the attic, and the attic, it kind of looked like partially finished, so that I totally wish that I would have took the risk of like dying and went upstairs. But it's fine. Then on my way like halfway down the stairs like started to crack and move. And I thought I was going to fall and die. It was terrifying. And to get on the stairs, since that giant hole was in the entryway, I had to basically hop 3 stairs to get to the staircase. So it was kind of scary. And so about halfway through, like, the rest of this, we're like taking pictures, and like about halfway while we're like taking pictures, her mother texts us this. So then we're like, oh crap, like, what do we do? So we run to the window, and the window was kind of like fogged over. So we like wipe off a little corner and we peek through, and there's like 3 or 4 people standing outside, and like 2 of them are on their phones, and they're all staring up at the house. And all of the kids in all the windows are like staring, going like looking at us, and we're like, holy shit, talking mushrooms, what do we do? And we were like freaking out, and so she texted her mom like, you know, we'll find a way. And she's like, is there another way to exit on the other side of the house? And we're like, yeah, there's the garage. And she's like, okay, I'm going in. And we're like, what? And so she's like, meet me on the side of the house. I'll meet you there or whatever. Like, I don't remember what she said, but it was super funny. And so we run like all the way across the house, you know, go through the garage again. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention. When we walked inside and like looked at that bay window, we stood in the bay window, and the one on the back side of the house, not the front. And we were taking pictures, and it started to pop and like move forward. So we thought the bay window was gonna fall off the house. It was terrifying, but like, ugh, it was scary. Yeah, we run outside the garage, and all of a sudden, like, this woman, like, she was amazing. Oh my gosh. So we're like waiting, like, are we supposed to like meet her at the end of the driveway? And then all of a sudden we just hear this like and we see this brand new 2015 Tahoe, like it literally looked like this. And it's like flying down this driveway. And keep in mind, this driveway is like grown up. So there's like trees and bushes, and like trees like fell across the driveway. She's like driving over everything. And I'm like, girl, like, you gonna ruin your new car. Like, and she's like flooring it. And she literally like gets to the point where the driveway is like all like graded up where it's muddy, and she slams on her brakes and like slides through the mud, and the windows rolled down, and she goes, get in. And I was like, oh, so we're in an action movie now? It just got real. So we run to like the car, and we open the door, and we're like but we're all muddy, and she's like got it covered. I've got like, she had like trash bags in the floor already, and we're like, she literally thought of everything. It was super funny. So we dive in the car and like slam the doors, and she literally throws the car in reverse, spins out of the mud. She's like and like literally throws it backwards, and we go flying down at this like grown-up driveway. And then she slams on the brakes and kind of spins the car like backwards, and she hits 3 little trees while she's doing this, but she doesn't care. I'm like, girl, you like cray cray, and I love it. So she like spins the car around, so now we're like facing forward, like towards the driveway. Again, instead of like backing down the driveway, we spun around, and now we're like going forward. So she like floors it to the end of this driveway, slams on the brakes. Obviously, we look both ways before we pull out, and then we pull out like nothing happened. And we drive by, and there's like, by this point, there's like maybe 5 or 6 like adults, and they're all walking up the hill towards the house, and they're all on their phone. And so we just like casually drive by, like, I wonder what's happening there. I wasn't just there. And yeah, so it was great. It was super funny. And I'm like, there's like a 99% chance that they probably call the police on us. But I mean, it's fine. We didn't really touch anything in there either, so they ain't gonna find it. So there ain't no proof. No, I'm just kidding. There's totally proof. I have videos. But I mean, they were gonna tear it down anyway, and it was like public property, so I think it's fine. They probably thought we were doing something else, if you know what I mean. So yeah, we drive by and drive home, and that was pretty much the end of it. And for the rest of the day, we talked and looked back at videos and pictures and we like laughed and it was super funny. And I went home, told my parents, told everybody. It was a great time, super fun. Had a great time. And the next week, like the next time that I drove by that house, they there was red caution tape that was around all of the doors so you couldn't get in. Another ironic thing, which kind of isn't really relevant, but I will tell it anyway. So one of my other friends, like their dad actually was like running the construction for that. So he probably knew about it too. Oh my god. So yeah. And, you know, this is like a whole different part of the story. This was like December when they finally tore down the house. They were actually nice enough to call me. I think he mentioned something about like me liking the house. So they actually called us when they were going to tear it down and we went up to go see it. So I don't know if you want to see that footage or not, but I will include it here anyway so you can see my dream get crushed. But anyway, there you go. So yeah, that's the end of this video, and now it's this stupid neighborhood and my dream is dead, but you know what, it's fine. I've moved on. Totally moved on. It's fine. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry it's so long. I know it's gonna be like maybe 30 minutes. I don't know, it's so long, but I can't really cut much out of it because it's so interesting. So, I mean, just bear with me here and find a good time that you can watch it, and watch it all the way through. So please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you know whenever I post a video so you can be the first to watch it. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys.